One of the things that I've been really interested in lately is the fine line that seems to separate between nature and the natural world and man and the man-made world, or the artificial world, or the synthetic world. And even in this moment, I would love to show you guys. You can hear it, right? There's a sound of a plane in the distance, but all I see is one bird, right? Where's the difference between the bird and the plane? When you really feel into it. Is that big old bird getting closer right now? I've been watching how parts of me that are steeped in separation, deep in duality. Of course, as you know, how they label better, worse, good, bad. I've been on a quest over the last several years to really deepen my connection with Earth and all things Earth, but from the natural world. And so there's that natural part within me that says, Earth things, nature things, good. Man-made things, metally things, destructive things, bad. Of course, you're listening to this and you know that there isn't necessarily any sense in that. But it's fun to observe that and then to blend them or merge them within. And life is often, always, giving us opportunities where the two are really side by side. And if we're looking through the lens of no separation, we can see that it's really the same thing. It's the same. So I wanted to share with you guys an experience that I had this morning. And I pray that I can share it with the same energy with which I experienced it. Because it's been some time, some hours have passed since this experience. And I want to backtrack for a moment. Where I live, the landscape is magnificent. It's really up on a mountain with a view in the distance to the sea and many green trees. It's often sunny where I live with some bits of clouds speckling the sky here and there. And one of my favorite things to do when I have free time is to go for a walk. I've recently returned to Israel after a sudden and unexpected, unplanned 6 weeks of being in the States. And once I returned, there was jet lag. It was hot here. I had some physical symptoms, all of which kind of kept me housebound. So I didn't go for any walks. And this morning, for the first time in a long time, I felt inspired to have a walk. Pause. One of the things that moves me and has moved me so much lately are these unexpected interactions with the natural world. You don't see them coming. They kind of move on in a blink of an eye. But it's almost that experience of meeting God face to face, being touched by the hand of God, having a massive pause put on this reality, seeing for a moment behind the veil, being infused with this extraordinary life force energy, and then carrying about the day. And in a way, in some way, I kind of live from moment to moment like those. And they don't come so often, but when they come, they leave an impact that lasts for a really long time. One of the things that I really, really enjoy and I'm coming to love more and more are my interactions with the avian kingdom, the bird world. Some would say that it's an indication of my own wingedness. I don't know, perhaps. And I have been privileged to have several really moving, really extraordinary one-on-one interactions with magnificent creatures, winged creatures, in the recent years. And something that excites me as I'm driving to and from my home or in the area is the occasional spotting of a hawk. I'm not exactly sure what kind they are. One, if I'm lucky, it's two together. That excites me. My mind sort of attempts to look for the meaning, and sometimes I reach a meaning. And other times it's just that visceral experience of feeling that connection to the hawk and its magnificence. I'm coming out of an agonizing time, something that I would even call fairly tortured in my inner world. So going out for a walk today was especially meaningful. And there's a particular path that I like to take, but today I felt, I guess I can say I was guided, but I like to say I felt inspired to go a different way. And so I went. And about 10 minutes into my walk, I'm heading down this steep road, and I see up ahead of me birds with their wings outstretched, and they're gliding. And there are many of them. I'm not an expert, but I live amongst the crows, so I pretty much know how crows move. Is that a crow coming right now? What do you think? If I were to show you in the distance, you would see another bird that sounds like a plane. I could swear that these are hawks, right? I'm not an expert, but I'm looking at the other birds, how they flap their wings. I'm looking at how their wings are outstretched. They barely flap them at all. They're just soaring, circling, gliding. More than two, much more. At some point I thought to count. I counted one tiny little subsection. There were 10 in one subsection, and then I looked at the sky and I attempted to divide the sky to get more of an accurate read. There had to have been more than 60. So of course they drew me closer. I left my path and followed to where they were gathered. Hawks, of course, are known to be predators, right? And some might find this to be threatening. But all that I experienced in this moment was pure, unspeakable bliss. It's something that can't be communicated in words. The way they caress the sky. Every once in a while they would just lightly, delicately meet wings. So many of them spiraling and swirling effortlessly with such grace. Like one breath. Can you feel it? Just a breath. Just riding and soaring on one breath, around and through. I hear the distant call of my daughters coming home. So I guess this video is going to be either cut short or we're going to have a momentary... Hi, my loves. I'm making a video to put on my YouTube channel. Do you want to come in and say hello? Okay, so one moment. You can come in and say hi.
Hi.
Do you want to say hi?
You have a YouTube
Okay,
channel?
yes. Do I have a YouTube? I guess I do. I do now. I'm sharing a story about hawks that I experienced this morning on my walk. It was a hawk walk.
Oopsie. Sorry.
Okay. So that's the best telling of this story that I'm going to do for now. And I hope it will suffice. There's no great conclusion in this moment. And maybe just through the ethers, you can experience the bliss of this moment. These unexpected moments when the hand of Gaia, Mother Nature, beckon closer, come closer, come closer. Hey girls. Hey Nina.
Yeah?
Can you wait with that for a minute?
Yes,
Teenagers. I will finish by saying that I sat there for a good long while, tears streaming down my face, feeling like as they glided through the sky, they were soothing my inner being. And almost as quickly as the whole thing appeared, almost in an instant, they vanished. Some ascending higher and higher and higher until they were ultimately out of sight, and some out into the distance until what remained was one, the one, the one. That's all for now. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. See you next time.